What up, world? IG fam, Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. Welcome to Two Gents and a Turntable special edition. We got a fireside chat with my man Napoleon Demps. Jeff Benji's going to join soon. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. Let's play some music. Noriega Records, Dove, Gabe Rowland. Jeff Benji's in the house. Pace and Ben Bounce. What up, everybody?
Hey.
You're sideways. What's up?
I'll figure it out.
You good?
Man. Can you hear me?
Not that good.
No?
Getting better.
How about now?
You're doing all right. You're doing all right, kid. Let me tell you. So let's kick it off, man. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. As I said before, Two Gents and a Turntable. My co-host, Jeff Benjamin, New York, Seattle. We got a real special one today. We've got Napoleon Demps. He has done work with Daptone Records. That's kind of how we found him out. Real quick, I just want to go over the format with everyone. So, introduction, which we just covered. Then we're going to bring Napoleon on. I'm going to do a quick little intro. We've got, I think, 7 or 8 questions that we're going to, talk to him about. And then we have our lightning round, which is going to be driven by Jeff Benji over there, and then we're going to close out. So that's how it works. We're looking at about 30 minutes. I like, quick fireside chats where we can introduce you, drive the engagement, and kind of get some key information about Napoleon to you. And then it's up to you. You got to follow and see what's coming next. You got anything, Benji?
No, that's it, man. I'm ready to roll.
All right. I think he's in the building, so we're going to go ahead and invite. Invite is sent.
Oh,
Napoleon.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey.
So real quick, you know me, I'm Waxvillain. That's my co-host, Jeff Benjamin, in the tile next to you. Without further ado, everybody, I just want to do a quick little introduction. Last year was kind of a new thing for me with soul and funk, and Daptone was one of the labels that I was always watching out for. And I remember it was around like the holiday season, Daptone was talking about this new artist and a new 45. And it was really cool to me because I was excited. I liked the sound. We're going to get into that later, but I was excited to hear this new artist. And around the same time, I was doing some peddling of vinyl and helping people out. And strangely enough, Napoleon, I got your record from Stevie Fontaine, who's part of the Spears, right? And he also worked with Mango Hill. He did me as a favor. I believe he played on the album, which I thought was super dope.
Yeah.
That stuff anywhere. So, folks, for me, when I heard this, I was definitely moved right away. I love the sound. Maybe slightly different a little bit from the Daptone sound, but I've been really excited about Napoleon and his work. And we linked up not too long ago. We started chopping up about kind of working together on stuff. And, we talked bringing him on 2GENTs, which is a great opportunity for us and our friends that are watching to kind of connect and drive deeper engagement with musicians, which is something that I'm always trying to champion. And, I thought with the pandemic and everything, Napoleon, just in terms of the noise being amplified, it was a really kind of challenging time to promote and everything like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to take the time to bring you on to kind of refresh, the name and the sound and get everybody familiar. Transition into questions real quick. Jeff Benjamin.
All right.
Yeah. So, I guess, first and foremost, Napoleon, we know who you are. We know what you're about. But for the people who might not know, why don't you just sort of introduce yourself and kind of let the fans know a little bit more about yourself.
First of all, I want to thank you guys for giving me this platform, man, so I can come on here and let people know, about what's going on. So basically, I've been singing professionally for about, I say 16, 17 years. I started off in the Southern Soul genre. Southern Soul is like a sub soul genre. It's it's different type of music from like the Daptone sound. So it's not necessarily more. It's not like live instruments like all the time. It's more like program. But I started off on that circuit. I worked that circuit for years. But the whole Daptone story is a whole other story in itself. I mean, do you guys want to go off into that right now, or what? Because oh man. So all right, this is like a fairy tale. You guys ready? so
number 2, so I'm excited we're getting into it.
Okay, all right, great. So what happened was my brother, my younger brother, he knows I love R&B, soul music, you know what I'm saying, good music. So Sharon Jones put out 100 Days, 100 Nights, you know what I'm saying, Daptone put that out some years ago. And he said, man, I'm going to tell you, man, he was like, it's something you need to hear. You need to hear this. So I'm listening to this. I'm like, man, what's this, like a nostalgic record or something? It's like 60s or something? He said, no, it's been recorded, like it's recorded recently. This is new. I'm like, man. So at this time, I've been ticking and tagging on the Southern Soul genre, trying to, you know, get my name out there. I had a couple of hits and stuff, but I'm like, man, this is the essence of soul, man. This is some good stuff. So what I did was, just like a fan, I looked up Daptone Records, okay? So I look up Daptone Records, and I find out it's in Brooklyn, New York, and I get the number, and I call. I found out that the owners were Gabriel Roth and Neil Sugarman. So I'm like, okay, may I speak to Neil? And whoever answered the phone was like, well, hold on. So Neil comes to the phone, and he's like, Neil Sugarman, may I help you? I'm like, hi, my name is Napoleon Demps. Full, like, you know, I guess you could call it groupie mode. Full, like, can you give me a shot mode? Full mode. And I'm like, how can I record some music with you guys? I love what you're doing. He was like, man, I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate everything, but we're real busy because at the time they were traveling all over the world, touring heavy. So they just happened to be there that weekend. So I talked to him, and he said, I'm going to send you out a box of records. So that's a Daptone thing. If you get affiliated with Daptone, you understand, man, they love those brown boxes, man. They send out those records, man, to people, bands, stuff like that. So they sent me a box of records, and they said, we'll be in touch, okay? So fast forward 2 years from that time. They come to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm from Flint, Michigan, okay? Ann Arbor, Michigan is maybe 50 miles away from where I live. So I see they're coming, and I dialed the number and dialed the number and dialed the number. And they called me back finally after I left a message. And Neil said, well, hey, man, we'll be in Ann Arbor. We'll put you on the list. You can come on in. So me, a friend of mine, and my brother, we rode down to Ann Arbor. They had me come to the hotel and meet them. So I'm like, hi. And Sharon, God rest her soul, Sharon was just singing all the time. She was like, so I say you were singing. I'm gonna have to hear you sing something. I'm like, okay, just wait. I want to know who you are. She was like, I want to hear you sing. So we go to the venue, which is at U of M Ann Arbor, and I go backstage, and I'm talking to them, man. I'm talking about we're hanging out all day, man, eating. Gabe and Neil, man, they're like such humble people. They're awesome people. So they brought me, my friend, and my brother back. We had dinner, lunch, or whatever you want to call it. And the full Dap Kings section comes up. It's time for sound check. Okay? So they're like, come on up. We want to hear what you do. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do I sing? And then it was like, what classic soul song do you know? I said, Sam Cooke, Change Gonna Come. So imagine all of those horns right there. Okay? Like I said, I'm in full groupie mode, like, at the same time, nervous, out of my mind. But I step up in front of the mic and I open up. I was born by the river. Boom! They hit it for me. So I'm singing it. It's like an auto world experience. And I'm singing and I got done. I remember it was like an eerie silence. And after the silence, Gabe said, man, you know, Gabe, Bosco man is real cool. Everything's real cool. He was like, man, we're not going to do anything right now, man. But when I calm down and everything slows down, he was like, I got you, bro. I got you, just like that. So I'm like, but what I didn't know was it was going to be another 6 or 7 years in between us actually getting the chance to record. What I did was I kept in touch with them, and it's real ironic. do the Southern Soul stuff, I had a date in Las Vegas. Okay, so I go to Las Vegas and I fly out, and the week I found out that I was flying out to Vegas, mysteriously, Gabe sends me an email. You know what I'm saying?
An
And I'm
email?
like, what? He sent me an email like, okay, hey, Napoleon, because I've been corresponding with him. He was like, so what's your schedule like? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm supposed to be in Vegas pretty soon. So he left the
Wide
number.
open.
I called him. And as I'm going to Las Vegas with a ticket already paid, so we don't have to travel or anything, he drove from Riverside, where he lives, to Las Vegas to come pick me up. This is how humble and awesome this guy is.
Huh?
He
Yeah.
he picked me up he picked me up earlier in the week before my set. We went out and I hung out. We recorded. We started talking. We hadn't recorded Norma Jean yet, but we were like just trying to get to know each other and feel each other. Anybody knows Gabe? He's real organic, man. Real cool dude, man. And we'll talk a little bit more about the recording session later. But he brought me out and we had some recording and stuff. And I went back to Vegas. And I was just like, man, thank you so much. Maybe 5 or 6 months later, he flew me back out, and then that's when we started working on Norma Jean, man. And it was an amazing experience, man. We worked on some more music that would be coming later on down the pipe, but it was, man. Like I say, that story's a fairy tale, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So first of all, a lot to unpack there. That's an incredible story for sure. I feel like
all right.
we had the same, like when the first time you heard Sharon Jones, I feel like a lot of the people that I run into that have gotten into this new soul music are like, had that same revelation, like, wait, I didn't know they made music like this anymore. They're still making this stuff, and then you find Daptone, and then you just kind of like go off from there, and then you go down the rabbit hole of this new soul thing. But like,
man.
Yeah. And then for you to step up and sing Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come, with the full horn section, no less. I mean, there's some footage of that somewhere. I gotta see a video of that.
Man, it's no footage, man. It's only here and here. But man, you talking about a little kid in the candy store, man. Like, yes, man. It was beautiful, man. It was an amazing thing, man. And like I say, it was the start of something beautiful. And that's why I want to tell people. I want to take the time to let people know. A lot of times people are in a hurry to get things done, but sometimes, man, humility and patience is the key to like whatever you're doing in life, man. Sometimes you have to go through storms. You have to live a little so you're prepared. If I would have got that chance back when I first met them, I don't know if I would have been mentally sound. I don't know if I would have been emotionally sound enough to handle it. But right when it came, I'm a spiritual guy, so I believe God prepared me, man, and I was ready for that blessing. You see what I'm saying? So man, woo-wee, it's a good thing. Yeah, we're not done, man. We got stuff coming, man.
That's
yes,
an awesome story, man.
Yes, the whole studio is analog. Who was that? Vinyl J. Yes, the whole studio is analog.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. Well, actually, so hey, Waxvillain, where are we at right now?
I'm sorry, man. Did I throw you guys off the course? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. All right.
So for me, I was really curious to kind of know, well, two things. So it's a two-part question.
Go ahead.
Where did the inspiration for Norma Jean come from? Because when I heard that song, I thought of Willie Hutch right away, and I think that.
You just said Willie Hutch, and that's an answer to something that you're going to ask me a little later on. Go ahead, man. This is some powerful stuff. Okay, go ahead.
So I heard Willie Hutch a little bit when I listened. I absolutely love the intro. I don't know if it sounded like really soul with the intro, but I felt this really hype, almost like hip hop type of break in the very beginning.
Yeah, right.
Go to that. Tell us what it was like, in terms of inspiration, and then what was it like recording it after all this time? We'd like to, as kind of like fans of yours, what it's like when you're recording there, and you've got Bosco, in the producer chair doing all that stuff. People are playing instruments. Give us some insight.
Man, the first thing I can tell you is, okay, when it comes to Bosco, man, he's very strategic. Okay, now when I say he's strategic, he's not a jerk. You know, you got some producers, man, they're kind of like jerky. You know what I'm saying? They're jerk. They're kind of wild and crazy, and they have this whole, I'm the king type thing. First of all, he makes you real comfortable. Okay, but he is a workaholic. Okay, when I say this man's a workaholic, we had plenty of takes, okay? It wasn't necessarily because I wasn't, laying things the right way. He's such a visionary. So whereas he's like, no, he's like, hey man, you can do that better. You can do that better. I'm like, I probably can, but I'm like, you didn't like that one? He's like, I just want a different sound on this. I want a different sound on that. Anytime people have great things that they accomplish in life, most of the time they're willing to go the extra mile, and that's the best way I can put it. Is he's always willing to go the extra mile to make sure that he delivers a quality project. And when Gabe gets in there to make records, he's not getting in there just to make things, just make something that's going to sell. It's true to his heart and it's true to his soul, and I believe that's kind of like what brought us together. Is when I make music, I want to touch people's hearts. I want people to feel what it is, because the type of stuff I grew up on, even though I'm only 40 years old, I grew up on like that organic soul. And you said Willie Hutch, that's like my favorite singer of all time. So maybe that inspiration came off, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I love Willie Hutch. I mean, every Willie Hutch album, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Every Ode to My Lady, what Soul Portrait is all there, So it's deeper than people realize it is sometimes, because when you're a musician or you're a singer, you have a responsibility because you touch people deeper. You know what I'm saying? It's so I take it seriously. And like I said, I go back to me and my relationship with God. Like I believe He anointed me to touch people's souls and stuff. Like I said, I'm not worried about how many records I sell. I'm worried about how many people I help through a situation. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can talk about the inspiration there. So I have a tendency to keep going, so you guys can jump in.
No. So like that's really cool about Gabe. I mean, it mm-hmm. kind of makes sense why he's so successful, because he has a way of getting the best out of people. And it sounds like without coming across a certain way, he's like, hey man, you can do it better. I mean, that's what we love to hear. And then I guess, Wax, you want to chime in here? I don't want to.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, we've heard stories about Gabe in the studio. I think most notably is when Vic, handed him the jam with Los Yesterdays. First time. And he listened and he turned around and all he said was, that sounds good. It's like one of the biggest songs of the year. So, I can understand that, and I totally dig it. Was there any particular memory from the recording session that stands out, like maybe an exchange of words? Was there anything else there at the time? I mean, I can only imagine what you were thinking the night before recording, kind of like the dream is finally coming true.
Right.
What kind of stands out about that time, like a cool little story?
The biggest thing I could say is it was his sincerity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, some executives, I've been recording music, like I said, for years. I've had record deals. I mean, I've dealt with, hip-hop producers. I've dealt with a lot of people. But he didn't try to sell me a dream. He gave it to me straight, but he allowed me to be me. And that's ironic you said that it sounds different from the Daptone sound, the traditional Daptone sound. And I actually take that as a compliment. Not that the Daptone sound isn't great, because I love it all. I love most of it. You know what I'm saying? It's good stuff. But I always want to sound like Napoleon. I always want people to be able to understand that, this is Napoleon Demps singing with the Daptone production. Because so many people get lost in there. They get lost, man. They get lost when they're trying to create. And that's a great thing, man. Creative freedom is beautiful.
Right. I gotta say, I saw you say somewhere you can't do what they do. You can only do what you do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
And that's true. I mean, you definitely put your stamp on that. It's got the Daptone sound is there, but like you definitely put your stamp on that. For sure.
It's funny because like I love soul music, but I grew up on all types of different things. So like, say I grew up in the 90s, man. So, I was listening to the Jodeci and the Keith Sweat and all that stuff too. So if you hear a little, oh baby, that's not necessarily so, but it's still in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of these things that come together. You know what I'm saying? That make me who I am, man. So I don't shy away from it. I'm actually proud of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My next question, and I think this is another one that us fans really want to kind of understand is, so you record the music. The next thing you know about, of course, is the vinyl release. What is it like, in the driver's seat as a musician, waiting from the time you've recorded it to the music comes out? What is that process like? Are you involved in any discussions around vinyl, or do you get to proof anything? Can you give us some insight to that?
Well, basically, from my experience, oh man, I want to take the time I seen Joey Quiñones was on here. He played organ on the record. Anybody know what Joey does, man? Joey is an amazing guy. Joe, thanks for coming on out, man. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But to go back to your question, basically what I did was I sang the record. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different because I'm from the Midwest. I live in Michigan and they stay in Cali. So I can't necessarily be hands-on through the whole situation, but let's just say I left it in good hands, okay? Anytime you're talking to a guy, you're dealing with a guy who's got Grammys on his mantle. I mean, he's worked with major people. I mean, you can go just Google Gabe. You see all types of stuff. I'm like, I love John Legend's music. And I'm looking, and he's like, yeah, man, me and John, man, we worked on a little something, man. It was cool. I'm like, yeah, you and John. so I left it. I left it in good hands. So I really wasn't worried, but I didn't really have like a whole lot of hands on when it came to that. But when we created the song, it was my idea. The way me and Gabe came up with it. He asked me about certain experiences, and in my past, I've dealt with some Norma Jeans. You know what I'm saying? That stuff, that's serious, man. You look at my face, okay? You see my eyes? That's serious, man.
I can see that. I believe it.
So when I'm screaming on that record, it's going back. Don't make a scene, girl. I've been there. But yeah. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So tell me what it was like when the pack in the mail shows up and you open the box and it's your record. It's your song on vinyl and it says Daptone. What was that like?
Man.
Put it on the turntable right away.
Ooh, so real. And the crazy part about it is, okay, I'm gonna tell you about my year last year. It was so crazy. People are like, man, you always do things in inopportune times, crazy times. So last year I got married. Okay,
Congratulations.
In a pandemic. And the single, the single of my dreams drops in May of 2020, like a month into the pandemic. So let's just say it was a bright spot. So it was real crazy at that time. You remember when everything first started. So I'm sitting there looking at this blue record. I'm like, man, goodness, I don't even know if I should breathe all the way in because something might be in the air. But yes, it was a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? And I was extremely humble, man, because I know it's so many people that try to get with Daptone. It's so many people. Like I say, even when Gabe started this Penrose movement, man, shouts out to all the Penrose boys, man. They're doing beautiful, beautiful things out there, man. And that's another thing about Daptone and Penrose. The humility of the whole situation is beautiful. So let me tell you, if Vicky Tapoya drops a single, I'm posting it. If Joey or the Sinceres drop something, I'm posting it. You know what I'm saying? The Sacred Souls, they're posting it. You know what I'm saying? It's all love because it's a unity within that struggle. And what we're trying to do is keep the legacy of soul music alive. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people that don't understand the depths of it. They're surface people. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into the depths of soul, man, it's a whole other bag, man. Whole other ball game, boss.
Well, Napoleon, talk about this, and I say this to Waxvillain all the time. I mean, we need that soul music now more than ever. I mean, things we need it now more than ever. I mean, because it's feel good. It's good. It's good for the soul. It's
yes, sir.
Cliche, but like, yeah.
No, it is definitely, man. Because it's a lot of people. A lot of people try to sing it. And a lot of people try to understand it. But it's kind of something that certain people are going to get into it because I believe people who are who are connected spiritually, and I believe people who are just deeper in thought can register with them. Because a lot of these kids, like that's another thing. I work in education, you know what I'm saying? So I work with kids every day, and they're like, Mr. Demps, Mr. Demps. My grandma was listening to your record, something, like, man, it was kind of cool. I'm like, man, where do you think all this trap and stuff came from, man? You know, it came from somebody saying, then they changed it from, you know what I'm saying? It's all comes from something, man. You got to know everything comes from something, man. We got to get back to the essence of it, man. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's it, man.
If you're ever looking for a hand, you need help anything, there's this guy Waxvillain you should check out. He might be able to get you
man,
in direction.
Look, man, I already heard about Wax, man. Look, Wax always has a whole bunch of records, man. And listen, from this interview, I already know, man, Wax believes in preparation, man. Preparation. Listen, as I was getting it together,
that's why
I didn't know.
The fear in my eyes when
man, look, I didn't know if I should come in like and wait for him to say at ease. Man, Wax. Woo, Wax, man. But you know what? I appreciate it because it makes it so much easier when you're doing these type of things when people do things in order, man. Mm-hmm. So thanks, Wax.
So I think one of the bigger questions, after kind of listening to your discography of what I could find, I shared with you one of the songs, Partying Like Rich People.
Right.
Your first hit was at 24 years old. I've heard you kind of touch a variety of soul subgenres, from Party Like Rich People to Norma Jean. Tell us about the evolution of your music and how your influences kind of factored into that, just along the course.
So, like, when I first started off singing like Southern soul music, you know what I'm saying? That's like the Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis type stuff. A lot of it is based about partying. You're gonna find something about partying and getting it on. So I was doing a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, where's my wife at? I was doing a lot of that stuff back in the day. I was doing a lot of that stuff back in the day. But naturally, as you evolve, man, and you grow as a man, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you do a little differently, man. The best thing I can say is I've grown as a man, so my content, I tried to make sure it grew with me. My first hit, and it's ironic. I'm doing another Southern Soul record right now, but my first hit was called "Let Me Get It for the Last Time." Okay, so naturally, I'm trying to get something. Let's just say it's not dinner, but I was in a different place then, but now a lot of my music is talking about, life, trying to get through struggle. I'm saying? We still have fun and stuff like that, but I guess you can say my music has just grown with me, or I like to think my music has grown with me.
No, absolutely. And, it was a real compliment when I talked to you about Willie Hutch in this record. For those that don't know, here's the 45 that we've been talking about, Norma Jean. So you have the instrumental on side B, but when I listened to it the first time, before I even read anything, I felt those Willie Hutch vibes. Always loved blaxploitation music. Willie Hutch was one of the first things that I got into, and I 100% stand by what I'm about to say. This song could be on a soundtrack right next to a Willie Hutch track because it fits the vibe so well. And that introduction again, with the break at the very beginning like that, I loved that. But it's really great track. And before we get into the lightning round, I would just want to play a little snippet for everybody, if you don't mind.
Hey man, let's get into it, man.
All right. So this is Norma Jean.
Better rock with it. Better rock with it. Yeah. Norma Jean. Yeah. You better go on home. Norma Jean, yeah. Yeah.
This is a great track. I really love it. It captures so much for me. A lot of music that I listened to when I started collecting records, and I think it's so refreshing to hear this sound again. But more important, have it be kind of on the face of Daptone. So I just say, you know, peace and respect. I think you know, as lovers of soul music, Jeff Benji and I, we're really happy for you. And
thank you.
You know, I'm always wondering what's next, but I think the lightning round is going to be really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and hand that over to Benji to drive out. Folks, the lightning like this, it's all about engagement. So we have 10 questions that Napoleon's going to try and answer as quickly as he can. And it's all about, you know, getting more insight into who Napoleon is, you know, on the side of the music that he makes that we love so much. So Benji, kick it up.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Musical inspiration growing up.
Willie Hutch. That's funny.
Yeah, I already did that one. All right. What are you listening to right now?
David Ruffin and Jimmy Ruffin's album. What is it? Am I My Brother's Keeper? That's what's been on my album.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. The last record you bought.
The last record I bought was a record by Mississippi soul artist Billy Soul Bonds. I can't remember which one it was, but I bought it at a thrift shop. Okay, but it's got some good records on there. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Favorite album of all time?
Willie Hutch. I'm torn, but probably Soul Portrait.
Soul Portrait. Okay. 45 or LP?
45. It's an obscure one by it's called Sweet Tooth. You guys go and look it up. It's you know about it? You know about it?
No.
Okay.
The question is 45 or LP.
45. Yeah. It's It's a 45 by Oh no! I thought you said the LP or 45.
Preference. What's your preference? My bad.
My bad. That's me. You know what, man? It really doesn't matter. I don't have a preference with those. I mean, it just depends on the mood.
Okay.
Yep, I don't have a preference.
All right. Black vinyl or color vinyl?
Black vinyl, man. Old school, baby.
Class. Favorite color?
Favorite color? Black, baby.
Black again. Favorite dessert?
No pun intended. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Favorite dessert?
A cinnamon roll. Can't you look at me and tell like cinnamon rolls, man?
Okay.
I probably should. All right. Go ahead.
Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Alcoholic beverage?
Your choice.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna sound like a granddad or something, but simply cranberry. I love simply cranberry. Just simply, baby. Simply.
No judgment.
All right.
Favorite quote.
Favorite quote. I wrote this one down. It's awesome. A winner is a loser who tried one more time, and that's by Irish novelist George Moore. Yes.
I love that.
Winner is a loser who tried one more time.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Hey,
yes, sir.
You know, I'm gonna go off script here a little bit.
Come on, man.
Who's on the backing vocals on that track?
Mike Noriega. Mike Noriega.
You know what? It's a whole bunch of people. They say Vicky took 4 years on there because see, they laid the background tracks after I was gone. Vicky's on there. It's a gentleman. He's an awesome guy out there, Matt Bell. Matt Bell, he commented on one of these, and he works with Vicky. And then it's a whole host of people. So they got a choir, so that's why it's all, you know what I'm saying? It was like 11 or 12 people. Yeah, so I don't even know everybody that's on it.
Real quick.
Okay.
So Stevie Sachs or Stevie Fontaine played on that. Joey was on there. But the vocals that we're talking about, right, that really give it that Willie Hutch vibe, that was written by Mike Noriega. And so it was Mike, Vicky, and I think there were close to 15 people that actually sang that part.
Yeah, it was a lot of them.
I mean, it's such a heavy track. There's so much going on there. The violin in there? Is there a violin in there? Yeah. That breakdown.
I see that. I don't know. Like I say, session musicians out there. Because see, I come out, I fly out, I lay, and come back. But what was so crazy, when I left it, the track was naked, okay? He sent it back to me, And I remember I was jumping around, man. I mean, I thought I was going crazy because that break, that boom, I'm like, oh man, it made me weak. So like it was, I had the same experience. That's why I say Gabriel Roth is real methodical, but he's a musical genius. So
Right.
he knows what he wants. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you give him your best, and he's gonna give you his best, man.
Yes.
Man, this interview has been awesome, man. I hope we can do this again, man. I'm gonna make sure.
Hey, once you come on 2GENTs, you're 2GENTs family, right? Once you mess with Waxvillain, you're Waxvillain family. So
all day, Wax.
Man, this is it's been a pleasure. Before we go, I always want to give folks something to look forward to. Can you give us any sort of sneak peek in terms of letting us know what's next, when we should start to watch out for stuff? And also this, because I missed this up front. Tell people where they can find your music. That's really important.
Okay, you can find my music on all major music outlets. I mean, like Deezer, Spotify, Google Play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really like far as the like the 45s and stuff like that. It's a whole lot of independent distributors out there. But you go to the website and get Norma Jean. You know what I'm saying? The 45, because that's the first thing I really did, like in that vein. But all my other music is available, man, on all the major musical outlets. So it's different sounds, but nothing wrong with trying to experiment some different things, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's some good stuff in there for sure.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Whatever don't kill you, that's my jam.
Oh man, see that's real life.
Check that one out.
That's one donkey, man. That's real life. I was laying across the bed one day, man. That story, man. I got stories for days, man. I'm a storyteller. Would you like another old paper before I leave, Penny? What would you like? I was there across the... Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to make sure that we plug everybody. You can get the standard black version of Norma Jean on Daptone's website. I verified it there. The color copy sold out, but you can definitely get black. Make sure that you definitely follow our brother on Instagram. He's got the records up on Discogs as well if you want to take a look and see what's going on there. But I think between Napoleon and myself and Benji, when we hear about new music, we're gonna definitely circulate that and amplify the sound. Sure. I think during the pandemic, maybe it didn't get the buzz that it deserves, and so the next one that comes out, we're definitely going to be behind that and push it hard.
Oh man!
So show some love. This was definitely one of my favorite interviews. That I don't want to call it an interview. This is one of my favorite fireside chats, strictly because of the story, and we got to kind of really understand what it was like.
My fireplace. Right by my fireplace, which isn't lit. Okay, go ahead. All right, man.
No.
Prepared.
I really think that pushing it is important, and we want to make sure that folks are able to kind of connect with you. We're looking forward to what's next, because I know you're always posting stuff, and we kind of rep Daptone when we can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for making time to be with us on 2GENTs and a Turntable.
Yes,
we'll be in touch afterwards and kind of walk this walk together.
Yeah.
Bless you guys, man. Thank you so much, man. We got more music coming, man, and I'll be letting you guys know what's going on. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Be good, my man. Take care.
All right, man. Bumps. Be good. All right.
That was dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
So for everyone that's joining, this is going to be available afterwards. You can watch it. You can share it with your friends. If not for us, do it for Napoleon, because I thought that was a really cool story for us as fans to kind of hear how he, connected with Sharon Jones, the duration of time between that first meeting and then actually doing the recording. And then all the way through to the pandemic, when he has the vinyl delivered to him, he gets to hear the music on Wax for the first time, and just, kind of the insights, the jokes, how he's evolved, his influences. That's what we want to bring in these fireside chats when we do 2GENTs special edition live streams from time to time. I keep telling Benji we're going to go back to the original format, but to be honest with you, there's just a lot of opportunity right now to bring folks that we love their music, to bring them to this platform, to take the time to really develop great questions that will give you insight and information about musicians that you love and musicians that might be new to you. But I'm talking about these connection points, right? It's something much deeper than a mock-up of a record, on Instagram, or seeing, a musician's names. I'm trying to drive more than that. and I want to use this space with Benji as my co-host to bring them on the platform and, just basically tell their story, because there's so much more to the music. It's deeper than that. That's why we're hitting it recording sessions. We're talking about, what happens after you do the recording, so that you kind of understand what that's like, because that's, a side of the business, a side of the fan side that you just really don't see. You don't hear about it. Occasionally you might find, little insights in a magazine or on a blog post, but, we're trying to do it different, and we're trying to bring, offerings that will make an impact and help you kind of connect to music differently. Benji, you got anything?
No, that's it, man. I mean, that like what you said, just kind of some of the stories, because I always love just getting that insight and, having people like Napoleon on and some of the others that we've interviewed, and getting some of that, sort of inside baseball insight that we're getting. I don't know. I think it's a good thing, man. I love doing it. So
should I tell them who's on deck, what we're going to do next, or should I keep it a secret?
Go for it.
Yeah. So Bolo, be on the lookout. We got Saracen coming on. We got the lovely and talented Miss Laura Rain, LRT.
Hey, man, I didn't want you to drop Saracen. I don't want that record to sell out. Man, don't tell nobody about that yet. I still got to get my copy.
All right. Well, don't listen to what I just said about Saracen. He might not come on, but he's really coming on. We're going to keep this up. We're going to use the platform to connect the musicians we love with our friends. For me, I've said this before, but I want to say it to anybody that watches this. I think followers is too impersonal. If we're connected, you're my friend. And so when I talk about friends, it's us just using this platform so that we can learn about the musicians we love, and also make it available to you through these offerings that, Instagram has and everything like that. And if there's people that you know about that you want to hear from, let us know. We'll try and, work all that stuff out. But I think these fireside chats are going to stay for a while. They might be spaced out. But we're going to continue to connect you with the music that you love, that we love. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm thinking, do we go next month, or are we going to do it sooner? Oh wait, what are the records that we twinned on that we have to go for?
Well, we got to talk about Benny Sings, right? I mean,
yeah, and don't forget the what was the one on Numero? Did you get the triple threat?
You mean the comps, the South Side, East, Southwest Side, and then the Rust Side stories.
I can't even remember why I bought those. Was it the Tricolor, or was there a song on there?
Oh, I mean, there's so many good tracks on there, man. Those things are those comps, because like the two of them are older comps that just have so much good deep cut soul music on it, and then the Rust Side, I mean, I haven't really heard much on it yet, but I just know Numero, I mean, they haven't put out a bad compilation. If you're getting a compilation from Numero, it's going to be just fire.
Do you have a bunch of their work?
Well, yeah, like the gospel stuff that
they
put out. Yeah, I got a lot of that stuff. But yeah, man, Numero just doesn't miss.
I got their early stuff. But speaking of the gospel stuff, man, there's this crazy gospel record story that took place around December of last year, and it's all documented in message between Benji and I. I'm trying to get him. I want him to come on and talk about gospel records, because he likes the gospel records. And man, the stuff that has gone on between us with vinyl records and trying to find stuff and trying to flex on deals and do things like that. We're getting close to where we could maybe put together like a thin book. But I need him to come on and, talk about the gospel records, because I'm in the sample days, I was all about, picking through that stuff. I'm not touching that stuff. That's his baby. I call him a subject matter expert on it because he knows a lot and he finds good ones. I got lucky one time and I threw him the alley-oop, but he knows his stuff. So, that's what it is on the gospel scene there. This guy definitely knows his stuff. He's responsible for probably, I don't want to say 50. It might be like 50, but somewhere between 25 and 50% of the picks. And I'll say it again, the only reason I'm here is because of this guy, right? And so it's important to me that we do this two gents and a turntable thing. And we've just got lots of stories about vinyl. And that's initially what we wanted to use this space for, was to kind of have it be theme-based around the episodes, records that we both like, we talk about. I think episode 1, we were pulling all sorts of, different colored variants out of this and that and the other. And then, you know, the opportunity to do the fireside chats came up. And that's something that we really enjoy in this space because it gets to be more of an offering and make more of an impact on the vinyl community that we love so much. So Waxvillain, that's all I got, man. Benji, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. You summed it up.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back. Look out for the notifications on the gram. Waxvillain, Jeff Benji, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.